phone number is like not listed.
Yeah.
That's the thing, if you want to promote something, like you got readings, you want to make that a public page. But then that's what opens you up to all sorts of predators.
Exactly. That's what happened to me. The metaverse.
I didn't know that. You know, I didn't
That's
really
why
know.
if I do go back on, I have to disband all those pages of mine.
Because
They
your
have to be
personal
gone.
page, you can make it private, and fewer people see it. But if you
I don't
want to
want.
have like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be bothered with the metaverse
if you
because
got like a band
they always
page,
send
or
something to my. I don't want any messages from the metaverse. That's the problem. I want to avoid it.
yeah.
Mm.
So if you don't see, you won't see me out there for a while, or
Me
maybe
too.
ever. I don't know.
You're lucky if you'll see me next year. If. It's just too much.
I don't miss it, but there are a lot of things, you know, I go to events now and I take photos. I can only put them on LinkedIn and X, which isn't the same because it doesn't have the same poetry community.
Well, hi, Roxy.
Hey there.
Hi, when should we start?
We should probably start in a minute or so.
Yeah, because I have 2:14.
We're already
I called
recording and
Prince.
live streaming.
I called Prince. I said, he said, did he get the link? I said, of course you got the link.
Everybody got the link again. You know, I sent
told him. I told him.
Yeah. So it's not my problem.
Right. And I don't think Sue's going to be coming because I don't think we know.
Poor dear.
Poor thing.
She had an accident. She fell in the bus.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, sometimes like, if you get stuck standing and the guy just like takes off without a warning, boom.
Susan Wyman?
Oh, Susan one.
Polo.
Oh, Sue Polo.
Oh no.
Oh, Sue Paula. Oh no.
I'm sorry.
And she fell in the face and she hurt her head and all that. She was in the ER
Oh wow.
Oh no.
and God knows what's going to happen with her.
Yeah.
Oh darn.
I
did too. But I broke my nose and my wrist.
Goodness.
So
on the bus?
No, a city street, you know, the concrete near where a tree is. Often lifts up because of the roots. And I was getting into my car, I was getting picked up and I was reaching for the handle and I didn't notice that lip in the concrete, you know. My toe went there and I went elsewhere. So it could have been worse. Could have wind up like that, you know. My prayers are for Sue.
So scary.
Well, I don't think it went into my brain, but you'll know later if I keep repeating the same thing over and over.
Keep asking the same questions.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, everybody. We are definitely going to be starting. It's definitely, what the time is it now? It's 2:16.
Yeah, we should start right now.
Yeah.
Patricia, I didn't hear. Are we reading from the anthology?
You can read whatever you want.
Okay.
A lot of the spotlight readers up to 6 minutes. Regular open micers have 3. So whatever you want to read, it's up to you.
All right.
Okay.
I will. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brownstone Poets, the last installments for this wonderful year 2024. We're going to end it on a big bang. It's been a crazy roller coaster ride, but we're going to make it. We're going to make good stuff happen next year in spite of what's going on. So thank you, everybody, for being part of Brownstone Poets. We have a fabulous spotlight community today. We have Amy Barone, who's a Pushcart nominee, Carrie Magnus Radner, who's a staff member, David Duffy, poet in residence for this year and next year, Dorothy Cantwell, Pushcart nominee 2025, Felicia Sherrill, Pushcart nominee 2025, Josephine LeRae, Pushcart nominee 2025. I don't think Prince is in the house yet. But
yeah, he just showed up.
Great. Prince A. McNally, he's a Pushcart nominee for 2025. Mega Sood staff, myself staff, Ron Brenner, guest poet for 2025. Roxanne Hoffman staff, And Susan Giustiano, Rescue Poetics, guest poet for 2025. And we're going to have the fabulous open micers. Remember, it is like 3 minutes for the open, 6 minutes for spotlights. Okay, the beginning, we're going to have 8 open readers. Then we're going to have the first group of spotlight readers, who is like Amy, Harry, David, Deffy, Dorothy, Felicia, Josephine Ray, and Prince. Okay, and then we're going to go for a 15-minute break. And when Roxy returns, we're going to have the next 8 open micers. And then we're going to have the last of the spotlight readers, who are Mega Sood, me, Ron, Roxanne, and Susan Giustiano.
I should be the last person to read, Patricia.
Okay,
always.
For the spotlight? Okay.
Yeah, but I'll be the last person to read after all the open micers and everything.
Okay, we're going to have a special blessing from Roxanne. Okay. Let me just, pen not working. End of reading. Okay. So, okay, and then we're going to end it with the remaining open, and I'm going to be blessed by Roxanne Hoffman. She always knows how to end it. So, give yourself a round of applause. We're here. And the first 8 on the open, we have Elizabeth Moss, Julio Magrini, Karen Newberg, Cindy Hoffman, Jeff Cottrell, Beth Morris, Susan Murray. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and David Bridges. Okay, first person up is Elizabeth Morris. Happy Saturday. And the rest of everybody, please mute your mute. Thank you.
Okay. Sky tides. Dawn fills the sky in a tide of light. Today brims with wild hope and fear, tossed by waves rolling through clouds. Tomorrow doubts, but today is certain. As sure as tree trunks reaching for heaven, birds recapture sound, singing just to be alive, to glory in sky tides filled with blue and crimson. Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Roxy, I have to, sorry, I have to pause. I have to contact somebody here. Hold.
Elizabeth, do you have another poem to read while we're waiting?
Let me see. Trade-off. It's nasty when I stay in a job where I trade money for sanity. My fist pounds the desk as explosions erupt across my laptop screen. While I could use the money, I don't have all that much sanity to begin with. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Kim Brandon's claimed she didn't get the link. And
Got it twice.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. Going to move on. Thank you, Elizabeth. Next, we're going to have Giulio Magrini. Unmute and share.
More and more, I see my father's face in my own. This is for the images you see in the faces of your family. Vivono per sempre in noi, nei nostri campi toscani. They will live forever in us, in our Tuscan fields. My sneeze, a gesture, a turn of the lips, evidence of Papa Dino's reemergence from death. He escapes with my sound of a resurrected gasp, living in my skin as before, but not the facade alone. As my aging experiment continues, wondering at his ongoing discomfort through me, I nightmare through darkness. The lurking fiend of senior living examines my restless sleep. Bouquets of urea get stronger. Partial and faulty memories bash in chaos without mercy. Papa Dino's customs and manner of expression carry my life, both in the memory of him before death and in my withering body. His simultaneous sound through me, still alive and annoyed at my weak submissions of time. My plodding expressions are clinging survival, and these memories trapped in my person are the entrenched person of Papa Dino, his puzzle of death surviving through me, as I most certainly degrade to his status, slipping into a union with his love. Who will I transfer my lifeblood, my smile, my gestures to? The answer is what? Bequeath wisteria gardens of Firenze, poppies of Castiglione della Pescaia. I will join Papa and converse with our tall cypress friends to examine our intimacies forever. We will realize what we become eternally near Montalcino, discussing the wines that year. Our mortal bonds released to the sentinel eyes of Bougainvillea, observing the tourists as they weave delight among us. My sunflowers in fields of wonder gather their amber storm of waves to shine love on progressing others, and we shall rest on the tender couplet. Papa Dino e suo figlio Giulio vivono per sempre in noi nei nostri campi toscani. Papa Dino and his son Giulio, they live forever in us, in our Tuscan fields. End poem.
Bravo.
Beautiful.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're going to have Karen Newberg, and then after that, Cindy Hoffman. They're the first literary review people coming up. Karen, take it away, unmute and share.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Patty. This is my mother's lipstick. The first time I wore my mother's lipstick was for a dance recital I was in. Age 12, still a tomboy, I was just starting to feel puberty, but I didn't know it. My mother set my long straight hair in rag curlers, and when removed, my hair looked lustrous and wavy. I wore a costume she had sewn, bare shoulders, crinoline skirt inches above my knees, glittery, satiny. She applied the lipstick thick and rose red. Finished, I looked 17, looked like a 1950s movie star, and I was half excited and half scared. And this is the poem that is in the anthology. It's called Poem Beginning with an Erasure of Baudelaire's A Hemisphere in Your Hair. Let me plunge, let me wave, stir memories in the air. My soul holds a whole ocean teeming with songs, elegant and intricate, long hours cradled, flowers and cooling water. I breathe in the fragrance, the night, memories. And there I am, seeing myself again, nervous as I glance in the vestibule mirror and open the door to our house. He stands at the bottom step beside my best friend and her boyfriend. As I look down, he looks up. Our eyes touch. Even now, half a century later, he spills into my head, when I really want to be telling you about the outfit I was wearing. Its blue-gray color complemented my eyes, and the corduroy pencil pants made my legs look long and my hips slender. And the boat neck top draped on me as though I had larger breasts. And the shoes, four-toned Oxford flats, that I felt declared I was more than just another cookie-cut teen girl. In them, I'd scurr with newfound confidence from class to class, where I'd write that boy's name on my book covers and notebook pages far too long after it was over.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Cindy Hockman. After Cindy Hockman, we're going to have Jeff Kotchel. Cindy,
Okay.
take it away.
I'm going to read the one from the Brownstone Poets Anthology, which is great this year. And this is one of my alliterative poems that I'm working on. It's with the letter V. So every line, almost every word has a V in it. Void and avoidance. Who is dancing on my vagus nerve? Me, very me, only me, very, very. Vague, viscous, vascular, vaxed. Volatile vials of Valium. Ventriloquists, vocal verse in the vein of vernacular. Voila! Vigorous, vibrant vitality? No, vacant, veiled, and vexed. Vestige of myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Okay, next up, we're going to have Jeff Kotchel. Take it away. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to do the one from the anthology as well. This is called I Want to Be a Pharisee. Fun thing, actually, fun fact. I did a gig in London, England at the end of October, and somebody requested this. I rarely get requests, but somebody actually requested this in London. I want to be a Pharisee. I want to be a Pharisee, stuffed with superiority, all shoving virtue in your face while smacking those who can't keep pace. And when I catch you at your worst, I'll see to it your life is cursed. I'll drain you of your dignity. I want to be a Pharisee. I want to be a Pharisee. I want it all to be about me, all preaching kindness, peace, and love, while flipping birds at God above. And when you make a small mistake, I'll burn you at my virtual stake to purge you down to purity. I want to be a Pharisee. I want to be a Pharisee, eternally seeking blasphemy, all praying loudly in the square to show the plebs how much I care. And when you act against my rules, I'll cast you out among the fools and bask in my conformity. I want to be a Pharisee. I want to be a Pharisee, well soaked in pure hypocrisy, all wearing goodness on my sleeve, while stripping those who don't believe of all their will to live. And when you tell me why I'm wrong again, I'll nail you high upon a tree. I want to be a Pharisee. That was me from the book. I want to be a Pharisee.
Thank you. That's it?
Oh, do I have time for another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, here's a short one. This is one I did for the Ovale 5-word challenge, I think earlier this year, and it's based in Cork, Ireland. And the 5 words from the audience were friends, ripple, belligerent, steam, and playground. And so I wrote this in 15 minutes, by the way. My friends were quite belligerent that day in the playground where we were wont to play. It began with an intense debate that started nice and plummeted to hate. First, Betty asked, "What can you tell is the best song by Peter Gabriel?" Then Johnny said, "No contest here. His best is Steam, it's very clear." This caused a ripple of dismay that spread across my friends that day. "You're wrong," cried Todd. "It's Shock the Monkey." The way he said it was proud and spunky. "No, no," I said, all shocked and aghast. "The truth is, Gabriel never surpassed the work he did in the 70s with Genesis." Their faces did freeze. "Shut up," said Bill. "I hate Genesis. Their music was so pretentious." This sparked a round of fisticuffs until the others screamed, "Enough!" And to this day, I die on that hill. Genesis remains Peter Gabriel's career peak still. So I wrote that in a 15-minute 5-word challenge, and you can probably guess that. Anyway, that's me. That's Jeff.
Thank you so much. Thank you, all Canada. Yay. We'll probably be all wind up being Canadians eventually.
Yes, unless Poilievre is
Well,
elected next year, and then we'll all go to Europe.
Okay, next up we have Beth S.K. Morris. And then after her, we have Susan Murray. And after her, we have David Bridges from Canada. Love you Canadians. Yay!
Okay. I'm reading from the wonderful anthology too. It's from a book that's coming out this winter, late winter, I hope, called A Yellow Notebook. It's based on my dad's last notebook before he passed away. And this is called First Love. His name was Edgar. My father picked him up from the railroad stop in Landing, New Jersey, to help dig up the boulders, rake the dirt, smooth the ground for laying out the topsoil which would become our lawn, my mother's gardens. He left each day at sunset. I don't know where he slept. I watched my father and Edgar work on the hill around our bungalow in the unrelenting August sun until lunchtime. Mother made Edgar the same meal, a cheese sandwich and a glass of milk, sometimes an orange. It was my job to carry his tray out to the porch. She wouldn't let him inside. Edgar rolled cigarettes, spoke in a strange, soft voice. I didn't care. He had a banjo. After lunch, he'd play his country songs. My darling Clementine, oh, Susanna. Teach me the forbidden verses to the big rock candy mountains. I'd share his food, sing with him, dance around his chair. Then one day, he disappeared. Word is out, my mother got him fired. Okay, since it's winter, I'm going to read another poem from the book that begins the book. And it's December 1951. It's a haiku. Snowdrifts rise on shore. Our skates skim the frozen lake. Father, my sentry. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and let's all pray for the new year, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia, and thank you for all the wonderful Brownstone poets who did reviews for my book. I'm very thankful to all of you.
Thank you. Okay, Susan Murray. I got a message from her. Oh, okay, you won't be reading. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, Susan won't be reading, but thank you anyway. Okay, next person we have is before we move on to the first group of the spotlight readers, we have David Bridges from Canada.
Well, thanks, Patricia, and thanks for the invitation. I'm enjoying the afternoon. Today is kind of a special day because in Paris they're opening the Notre Dame Cathedral. There's a big ceremony there, and 5 years after that horrific fire, I wrote this poem just after the fire. Notre Dame is burning. Our Lady of Paris weeps. Great buildings like great mountains are the work of centuries. From Notre Dame de Paris, Victor Hugo. Notre Dame is a man-made God-inspired mountain. Inner city Alps, mountains in the wilderness, enduring centuries of time's changes. 2 French revolutions, 2 world wars. Hitler wanted it demolished. near destruction in the 19th century. Victor Hugo saved it from ruin with the success of his novel Notre Dame de Paris, a grand restoration rivaling its noble original erection. 856 years it survived. Today, the most iconic tourist architectural marvel in Paris. 500 firefighters contain orange flames devouring the night as ancient timber bricks disappear. Above the smoky sky, 3 holy Trinity seagulls, disguised as angels, speak as messengers of change. It reminds us to rise above, stay uplifted, as memory's cinders of once venerable monument cool the ground. Holy Week, a week of horrors, as France's national treasure, is a history of hot ashes and pain. A soul light, once meant to elevate, humble humans with awe and harmony. This house of God roof where humanity took shelter from a divided world in these post-apocalyptic times, its spire peak will rise. On grief-stricken streets, shock, burning prayers, tears, hymns, strangers hug in solidarity. A Parisian man calls, "Oh, merde," witnessing the colossal damage. But what is not seen is so precious. I remember my first European trip, visited the cathedral in 1975. My heart arose so high when I saw those rose windows burning a beauty beyond its stained glass creation.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to the spotlight readers. I had to amend the list because we don't have Sue Poll here, and Roxy's going to end the reading with a bang. So we're going to have the spotlight readers. The first round for spotlight is going to be Amy Barone, Carrie Magnus Radner, David Duffy, Dorothy Cantwell, Felicia Sherrill, and Josephine LeRae. The second round will be Prince A. McNally, Mega Sood, me, Ron Bremer, and Susan Giustiano / Rescue Poetics. And then Roxy will end the whole reading. Okay, so Amy Barone, unmute and share.
Okay, well, I'm very honored to be here. This is my first pushcart nomination, so it's especially exciting time for me. This is the poem that was in the anthology. It's called Amber. Healing tears of the gods, tigers' souls, sun rays on waves. A pendant from Brazil that I treasure isn't a gem, but made from an ancient tree's resin. Fossils that once held plants or creatures. Vikings carved amber animals to channel strength. Fish, frogs, and rabbits symbolize fertility. Egyptians buried loved ones with amber relics, rubbing it against wool and silk. Greek philosopher Thales produced an electrical charge. My yellow jewels are more precious as trees' descendants, as nature's time capsule. Okay, and this next poem was recently featured in the Highland Park Poetry Facebook and Instagram pages, which I can't say. It's called Retire. At the end of summer in Iceland, groups of farmers and friends gather to lead sheep home after a summer spent lounging in the mountains. On horseback and foot, they guide the animals from the highlands where they fed on berries, grass, and flowering plants, to sorting pens on farms. The tradition dates back to the Vikings, when welcoming sheep back to the city guaranteed winter survival for city folk. Echoing a spiritual and emotional ethos, The practice underscores Icelanders' sense of community and aiding each other during crises, upholding a fading activity, and leaving no one behind. And the last poem appeared in my latest book, Defying Extinction. It was actually an acrostic poem. I teamed up with a crafts artist who had done a quilt. Twilight Flight. After the sun drops, a cobalt dusk takes root. Leaves in ochre, saffron, and jade float toward night. Vestiges from the maidenhair tree, symbol of love and longevity. Venerated as sacred and strong. Distant cousins survived Hiroshima. Traces of emerald horizon and brown shadow give way to blue tattooed sky. Fan-shaped bodies of foliage, their delicate veins like seams of a quilt, find safety in numbers. Reach for partners as they sway and prance. Emboldened by a twilight dance, they grow larger beneath chameleon heavens, bringing breezes and calm, celebrating day's end, beckoning us to dream in color and touch, find peace. Thank you very much. Thank you, Patricia and staff, Roxanne, and everyone supporting that poetry world.
Thank you again, Amy. Okay, next up, we're going to have Carrie Magnus Wagner, my staff member. Take it away, girl.
Hey, everybody. It's so wonderful to be in this space with all of you. I love seeing your faces all in front of me. Just, it's reality, baby. My first poem is from the anthology. This is called Edith. My heart is airy, full of holes like a basketball hoop. And the news of the world and the news about your dire diagnosis slams in my heart sharply like a basketball. How can I face the world again without you? You are such a demon out on the court, but now the cancer's buried deep, leaving no holes. I see sunlight streaming in. Maybe there will be a chance, but I doubt it. Death will kiss you on the lips and cheek as you make your last shot. And there's nothing to do but to wear her face and to live days as they were our last. Swoosh. I make the basket after we buried you. The world seemed so damn big. My heart is a basketball hoop. Someday its holes will be filled and fixed, but not today. Okay, and this is a real new one. I just wrote this yesterday, so many apologies. Flicker. Oh, look, the Wi-Fi is back. We could breathe, connect with the world. My parents in Texas don't use Wi-Fi. They never explained why not. Don't they want to be found? They want me to call them. Texting is good, but they return my calls 2 days later. They are fine, I tell myself, their brains and hearts still flickering with insight, though their TV always screams in the background of college girls' basketball games. They're almost deaf. As the screen flickers, it holds their whole attention until the next meal at their house. It's only their house. Our home in Oklahoma was sold years ago. Our childhood memories are still in boxes. All the furniture used to be Nana's. They haunt me as memories flicker. Windows of the past, frozen in photographs, now fading. Sometimes never fade. Like love and anger, they flicker on, waking us up from a deep sleep. Thank you. And next one is from In the Blue Hour, one of my wonderful books. And this is for the holiday blues. I want to be a bear to growl a lot and wear some fur and fuzzy socks with fox heads on them, and I want to curl up in bed, sleeping deeply until spring. Long nights are coming to get me, the long dress rehearsals for holiday musical merriments, the after dinner mints are out of bounds for the singer's throat now. Just some hot tea, honey, and occasional self slap across the face to stay awake. Words come out in spurts as I try to capture and hold them still for long enough so I can do my work. My head still spins, the blues play loud in my head, coloring my mood to a rare indigo. During these times of sheer madness, where peace and love should be the only thing of importance.
Mm.
And I want to end with a haiku that was recently published in Sense and Sensibility. Thanks so much, Patty. Here we go. We light the candles on the first night of Hanukkah, praying for peace. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Holly's around the corner. Okay, David Duffy is next. Take it away, sir.
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you very much. I'm deeply honored being named as a poet in residence in 2024. And for 2025, that's a huge honor. I'd like to dedicate this to country of Georgia, to freedom of Georgia. Georgia is still on fire against Kremlin, and Georgia needs our support. Georgia needs help. Otherwise, there will be no more Georgia in the world, but backyard of Kremlin. Others are crying for their children, and children are crying for homeland. People are in the streets, and they're fighting for freedom. That sacrifice is poetry. That is real, and this is tangible. So I'd like to dedicate this to heroes. The cosmos between the worlds. Mirages of clear water across dusty horizons, ripe expectations just over the rise right there. An old photograph makes us chuckle, but now your smile has such a glare, I just can't tell. This endless journey keeps me turning back to something forgotten, to something misplaced. Keeps me turning back toward you. But strangely at dawn, when you float on the edge of a night dream, you hear a voice. It whispers in your ear. The light lazily comes in, and the city appears, but you are silent, frightened by the delayed seconds. In your thoughts, your childhood drives up, and you recall your parents and the summertime when you caught a fish and did not know that your father's breath would never leave you. Your mother was young at the time. Her kind smile makes you cry now, as if the smell of that summer has reached you. The secret quietness of the waves' noise comes from a distance, and the day passes so quickly you don't notice the twilight, the chasm between the worlds. The sky grew within my heart. There are days when I hear the voices a tree said to me, and the days when I'm not. My heart is a vineyard of hope in the morning and the prayer of the rolling sky at night. And caterpillars are making the silk nests. They know the secret, that there is no death, but butterfly, the divine name of silence. That day I felt that smell, the smell of expectation. The sky grew within my heart. That day the sky was so high, it penetrated me through. Oh, what a sky it was. So familiar and powerful. Its memories are leaves fell off the trees. They were on the ground as the imprints of glances once when we saw each other for the very first time. No fighter jets up there, but kites. Yet I'm not going to change you. You are the mirror of myself, as I am yours. I still remember that bird flying above Pearl Street in the financial district in Manhattan, as if the sky was its mother. The bird hugging and kissing the air. The sky was so close to me, so clear, reflecting the buildings on its transparent body with the centuries of revelations. The sky was the mirror of Earth that day, and I felt that smell of expectation we both love.
Beautiful. Thank you, David. Thank you, David Duffy. Okay, next up, we're going to have Dorothy Cantwell. After Dorothy Cantwell, we're going to have Felicia Sherrill, and then we're going to end this first round of the Spotlight Readers with Josephine LeRae. Dorothy Cantwell, please take it away.
Hello, thank you so much. And I'm very, very grateful to Patricia and Roxanne and all of the people who work on these beautiful anthologies. And I'm grateful for the chance to be published and for the Pushcart nomination. Thank you. I'm going to read the poem that has been nominated, and the name of it is Edward Under the Sky. Edward Under the Sky. Edward swims like a sea lion, head shining above the waves. He dives, resurfaces, and then with his peculiar and distinctive backstroke, bobs back rhythmically against currents. Suddenly, his perfect feet flexed, he sinks in slow motion below the dark water, disappears, reappears somewhere else. True to his word, he stays within the ropes. He remembers. These days, he remembers little of what's just happened, but true to his word, he stays within the ropes, though spirits call him beyond. See, he nears the farthest buoy and looks back at me, pauses like a selkie longing to return to the sea, but he circles back, turns from the lure of the beckoning horizon, and dives again and again. The distant sky, strange, dark, stormy, blue-gray. Low silvery clouds crawl toward me, thunder growling like an awakening animal. To my left, pink. To the right, against summer blue, dense cottony cumulus. Dreamscape sky, as confused as the colliding images in my head, yet Edward, unperturbed, submerged in dreams, rises in joy to the hallucinatory change of color each time he surfaces. The weather this summer has been violent, startling, sudden hailstorms, flash floods, torrents of rain, water spouts spinning across the surface of the water, thunder cracks close as a hair, lightning fracturing slate gray skies into pieces. People are struck down by the swift, unexpected fury of the natural and fearsome world. The air crackles with electricity. My hair stands on end. Edward rides a billowing wave towards shore and crawls from the sea, wearied from his swim. He sits beside me smiling, smiling to himself as I worry about the coming storm, the days ahead. Thank you. Now I have a different poem. This was in the 2021 anthology. And this is called The Next Morning. It's a All right. The next morning, heart still as prey, I make the bed while he takes the first shower. I tuck in corners, and with my palms smooth away wrinkles, I place the pillows gently against the headboard. In the morning, we pretend we are healed, or even that the snarling savage snap of words, the angry jaws, the sharpened teeth bared have not broken the skin. But at the door, when we kiss goodbye, I can taste my blood in his mouth. And then this is from the 2020 anthology. And again, thank you. This is called Whether We Wake from Dreams or Nightmares. As the cloud moves past the moon at midnight, shadows shudder from the corners of the yard, and a Juga reptin shines like a pool of black blood as it spreads, seeping from beneath the rocks in the garden. A family of raccoons make their way home, invisible between the moon-bleached bones of trees, haunting the woods with rhythmic, ghostly cries, which fade until the terrible darkness. And at the break of dawn, the morning mist on the lake rises like a swarm of pale wraiths, gathering and watching, moving toward me as I sit on the dock, gripping my coffee. The world awaits us, whether we wake from our dreams or nightmares. Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we're going to have Felicia Sherrill, and after Felicia, we're going to have Josephine LeRae. Felicia, unmute and share. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. I am going to read the poem from the anthology. Thank you so much to Roxanne, to Patricia, to everyone. Thank you for my very first pushcart nomination. This poem, Dancing to Death, can be found on page 21. Dancing to Death, with ricocheting rockets on the rise and heaping helpings of hissing hot hints of horror. Downstream are dollops of debris atop decaying dead with a scent of savagery soot and a fume of fermented fiery flesh. Seeing smoke afar, and simultaneously the sight of a slithering snake settling on the side of a sunken silhouette of a masked man who managed to make it more minutes beyond the mark of madness, then found himself mashed in the middle of this makeshift massacre. He passed, but not before more atrocities amassed across an abyss of ash, and add to that a torturous task, sifting through soil sadly in search for shells of stained, sickly souls. Hush, while we hope to hear a heart's hum or a mouth's mumble. Not a growl, not a grumble, not a gasp, but we got a grenade and a meticulously misused missile. Oh my. They leveled the local liveliness lethally. They victimized the villagers. They victimized the villagers. They pillaged the parishioners. They killed the kids. They snuffed out the soldiers and wiped out witnesses. Battling brothers, bickering brutes, Ishmael, Isaac, with their last breath, danced to their deaths. Thank you. And the second one I am going to do, I wrote this over the summer. Poets are prophets. This is dedicated all the poets on the line. Many are called, but few are chosen, but poets are prophets. When your spirit's held hostage, it's a poet that sets you free. Ill mics, hetchu, haikus, bless you. Ping, pong, pow, poem hitters, alliteration, word inspirations for generations, like verbal volcanoes and vowels. It's in the voice, it's in the vernacular, and voila, it's a vibe. Poets tell the mysteries, the secrets, the stories, expose all the lies written in history, and the same lies told repeatedly, like in the 60s, when a poet told you ain't no way. They shot a president's head clean off in broad day, and didn't nobody know nothing about it. Oswald ain't do it. See, a poet just told you that. Poets are prophets. We are declarers of the good news. Poets are prophets, even bearers of the blues. Poets are teachers. Poets are preachers. Poets are historians. Poets are journalists, biographers. Poets are storytellers, story readers, story interpreters. You knew why Sean Bell had a widow before he even got married, because of a poet. You knew that a pack of cigarettes could kill, but selling a Lucy was lethal in New York, because of a poet. Because of a poet, you know denial is a river in Africa. Administrative leave with pay is vacation. I feared for my life is cold. Stop resisting is cold. Obey my commands is cold. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's not cold. She called that like she saw it. See, a poet just said all that. A poet explained that ain't no mountain high enough. Then a poet told you to put some respect on her name. A poet asked you, what's love got to do with it? A poet sang out, brother, brother, there's far too many of you dying. You knew why the cage bird sung. You knew that somebody blew up America. You knew Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, Little Miss Amanda, Maya. She feels like Auntie, and Nikki G you could have coffee with, because of a poet. Poets squeeze sweet from bitter, or expose the real bitter behind the sweet, because really poets are prophets. There's 66 books of poetry out there with the greatest love story ever told. A poet commanded dry bones to live. A poet told you God got plans to prosper you. A poet anointed a little teenager as a king. A mother gave birth to a poet. After she carried on so hard in prayer, they said she was drunk. A poet told you in the Psalms, clear as day, who was his shepherd. A poet told you stay humble. Then he took a beating for you, died on a tree, and said anything is possible in him if you believe. That poet rose in 3 days. This poet says in him she puts her faith. A poet taught you about Pettus Bridge, about Danziger Bridge, and how they shot those boys up during Katrina, about Ruby Bridges. A poet's been your bridge over troubled waters. A poet told you that Trump lost twice. A poet says, remember that time Russia helped him out? A poet told you Harriet stayed strapped. So why were you shocked about Malcolm? Chairman Fred needed a strap too, because it really be your own people. And who told you to call it the rebellions, not a riot? Call it mass suicide, not an epidemic. Call it genocide, not brutality, not food deserts, not broken education, not mass incarceration. It's called pick them off one by one. Who told you all that? A poet, that's who. Because poets are prophets. Poets are truth tellers. We are proverbial word slayers. Poets ask, where were the weapons of mass destruction? Poets are still waiting. Poets tell you the truth about the fake beef with Iran. We shipped them weapons for 16 years. We broke from England, but God saved the king. My country, 'tis of thee. Same melody. A poet just told you that. And who? And who? And who? Make sure you never forget. Hitler was once Time Magazine Man of the Year. Poets, we do that. Yeah, because poets are prophets. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to move on to Josephine LeRae. Oh, that was some presentation. Thank you so much, Felicia. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Josephine LeRae. Take it away, girl.
Thank you. I'm still reeling from that last poem. It was so powerful. I want to thank all of the Brownstone team for accepting my poem to publish and also for the nomination. I'm blown away by it. So thank you. I'm going to start with the poem that was nominated, Hereafter. They were Hansel and Gretel, the house not made of gingerbread and gumdrops, but straw and sticks and stone and steel with double plate glass that never opened to let air in, and their father. Their father was not a kindly woodcutter, but he did toil with his hands, his fingers and tongue sharp as blade, and their willow mother felled into shallow water, and like Ophelia, she drowned, the children condemned to wander 40 days and 40 nights in dark woods, and did not know to avoid the wolf in grandmother's clothing, did not know to decline. The persimmons did not know that their trail of crumbs and seeds had been devoured by blind birds and mice and bats, or that the sky itself was falling, that the beanstalk would inevitably lead to the ogre with eyes of ice who devoured the bones of the innocent before breakfast, and that a kiss would one day fail to awaken the fair maiden, and that their swords of cardboard and foil could no longer slay the dragon, and that the well-intentioned wishes of a silver-tongued women who attended their birth could not prevent them from biting into the apple or pricking their finger on the thin spindle of life. And I'd like to read, thank you. The next one I'd like to read was one of the first poems I had published in, I think it was 2007, and it's called I Have Forgotten. I have forgotten more about aging than you can comprehend. I didn't understand a child at a wedding as an ancient great uncle, no longer able to dance, repeated the phrase, Que bella gioventù, what beautiful youth. I have forgotten more about history than you have yet to learn. In my lifetime, kings like Martin Luther and the Kennedys proudly led their people, led them with a pride born of humility and truth. In my lifetime, Nelson Mandela sent to prison and man walked on the moon. Terry Fox dipped his artificial leg into the Atlantic, and John Lennon's life senselessly, prematurely taken. I have forgotten many things. I have forgotten more about primal language than you have yet to hear, the sliding cacophony of Sicilian, a tongue spoken but not written, the rhythms of my cradle, the people of that land not wanting to appear ignorant, now speak proper Italian, our dialect condemned to die out within a generation or two. I have forgotten more about the pre-digital world than you will ever be required to know, like the times table and the square root of 225, fingers on home row and rotary dial, and getting up off the couch to change the channel, like reheating food on the stove, the names of all the 7 dwarfs and Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor, and Marianne. So long, Marianne. I have forgotten more about etiquette than you could envisage necessary, like where the dessert spoon goes, and like the gentleman walking on the street side of it and actually talking to the person who sits across the table from you, actually talking, singing the national anthem in the classroom and I before E except after C, like OUR for our Canadian version of color and flavor and honor. I have forgotten. I have forgotten more about mourning than you have yet to learn, seen strokes steal my grandmother's soul years before her body was ready to be lowered to the ground. I have watched my mother use a washcloth to wipe my father's face, his body attached to wires and IV sensors, a machine in his chest keeping time for his now failing heart. I have forgotten more about promises than you have yet to make, uttered words that I thought meant forever, only to see them dissolve in the bottom of a bottomless bottle. The stench of scotch, not just a fog of breath, but oozing out of his every pore as he slept. No, as he lay passed out beside me in a bed that no longer offered comfort. The collision of his fist and my cheek, his bones and my flesh, the collision I do not want to remember, but it is wrong to forget. I have forgotten more about solitude than I hope you will ever have to endure. The silence and the shame of believing myself a failure because I could no longer be the glue that held a broken family together. Learning to live again, one inhale, one exhale at a time. I have forgotten more about selflessness than I hope you will ever have to learn, making it through the darkest days when the only thing that prevented me from escaping was the pain. The only thing that prevented me from escaping the pain was the knowledge that the burden would be too heavy for my children to bear, for my children to bear. I have forgotten more about poetry than you have yet to know, how to count the iambs and the dactyls and the three-stanza format of the sonnet, in which the problem is set out in the first 8 verses and the solution to be found in the final 6. This is my final 6. I have forgotten more about being cherished than you can hold within your hands. I've forgotten the exact shape of my grandfather's fingers, fingers with which he projected shadowed wolves and doves onto a wall, fingers with which he fashioned zigzag teeth for me out of fragrant orange peels, fingers that cupped my chin and called me Chucho. I have forgotten more about like bubbles softly bursting in the belly, that flutter of butterfly wings that's humbling inside as baby shifts position, feet jammed tight in this space against my rib, holding that child to my breast, seeing that face light up with first smile, those tiny fingers curled around mine, the smoothness of a baby's skin. The smoothness of a baby's skin. I have forgotten more about reconciliation than you can believe possible, about second chances, about not only starting a new chapter, but throwing out the whole damn book and sitting down with paper and pen to start afresh. I have forgotten more about life than I hope you will ever have to learn. Is there time for a short one, or is that my 6 minutes?
It's done. It's about 7 minutes, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And now we're going to go into our intermission right now. Just to let you know, this is we're going to go for a 15-minute break. And after that, when Roxy returns, we're going to do the next open micers, who will be Caroline Di Giovanni, Brucey Whitaker, William Considine, Charlie Colbean, Jack Cooper, Amira Mitra, Peter Kozlowski, and Maria Perez. And then we're going to break into the second round of the Spotlight Readers, which will be Prince A. McNally, Mega Sood, me, Ron Bremer, and Susan Giustiano, Rescue Poetics. And then after that, we're going to go to round 3 of the open. That will be Ernest K. Woodley, Mona Zamfriescu, Lynette Robsat, Kim Brandon, Mike Jakovic, Michael Lombombarda, and we're going to end it with the final spotlight reader, who is Roxanne Huffman. Okay, have a break. Any schmooze, anything? Don't forget you can use your promote your upcoming readings, your books, whatever, on the chat. You can talk about right now. I have Sense and Sensibility, which is open now for haiku for the January 2025 issue. Submissions close on December 22nd, and it's going to be posted.
It's a great read.
Huh?
It's a great read.
Yeah. And for the Poets published in December issue, please allow a month to go by. Come back in February. The prompt for January is, brr, baby, it's cold outside. So don't think about mittens, think about dipping temperatures, no heat in the house, icy streets, snowstorms, and other things associated with January's weather in the Northern Hemisphere. So I'm going to post the information in the chat, so hopefully you will come. And feel free to use the chat. You can talk to one another. You can go have yourself a cup of coffee, tea, maybe make a sandwich, have some yogurt, whatever. Enjoy. Let me get the bird information here. I have it right here.
I'm just gonna test to see if
Hang in
this
there.
will show up. Yes, it does show up.
I'm going to show this information.
Good.
Hold on.
Good. Here.
Let me put this in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going on hiatus, and the next reading won't be until January 25th. That'll be David Groff, Michael Broder, and someone else. I'm just waiting for confirmation to come through. And that's it for now. And I'll be on January 7th. I'll be sending out the information about the next Brownstone anthology. So here it is. If you want information, if you want any more, see me, contact me, DM me. Let me put that in the chat as well. Before I forget. Yes. Let me just write a congratulations to all the people who are in the previous issue, the current issue of the Sense and Sensibility. Let me get that up. Where am I? Open this up.
Hi, it's Beth, Roxanne. What's going on? Just a plain cold?
Yeah, I think just allergies. Allergies. I don't know.
The
Yeah,
sinuses are really bad.
Yeah, my allergies are just like I don't know. I have to tell you, it's like I seem to just have a permanent cold since the last time I got a booster shot for COVID. So I'm just not getting them anymore. That third booster shot just did me in. It's like you just have a perpetual cold.
Yeah, I get sick from them too. I haven't had mine yet. I'm waiting for the accident stuff to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Allison, you want to read? Or you just want to listen?
Isn't that always my answer? I don't think so, but thank you.
Because you're eligible.
I know.
When you register, you're eligible. Okay.
I know. I appreciate that. I just like to listen and watch and enjoy.
Okay, no problem.
But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Lombarda, are you still there? Can you tell us how to purchase your book? Where do we get Crying Blood and Other Poems?
It's available on Amazon.
Okay. That's the best way to buy it? Buy it from Amazon? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks for asking.
You're most welcome. I'm eager to get a copy.
Oh boy. It's the bathroom. Now, Jesus. Geez, I didn't time this. I guess we stopped at 3:30ish, Roxy.
Yeah, I think we could start in a minute or so.
No, wait. We must have started at
It hasn't been 15 minutes yet.
okay, well just let me know when you're ready. I think it's been 5 minutes already, so another 10. So, I want to congratulate Carrie, Beth, Jack, Mike Jakovic, Charles, Michael Lombarda, David Bridges, who are part of my December issue of Sense and Sensibility. Thank you so much. I already
Thank you,
posted everything
Patricia.
there. I even posted a link if anybody wants to read it. Anybody wants to see what it's all about, get an idea.
I'm sure everyone wants to read it.
Yeah, but the next one is going to be, so you guys already in December, bother me in February for the February issue.
Well,
Next month. I'll be sending out in January.
I'll be in the Seychelles all the while, so I won't be cold.
Yeah. So anybody wants to be in part of Burr, if you're in December, you can't be part of Burr. Let's see. So, I like that Burr. I like that picture I picked out for it. I think it's so cute.
Yeah, pretty cold.
Burr.
How far north do you want to go?
Well, we might as well go to Canada the way things are going.
And take you right up to the Arctic.
Yeah. But the Arctic, I mean, the Arctic Circle melting.
It's midnight all day long. There's no daylight.
But you see the lights, the aurora lights.
Yes, I have never been there to see them in person, but I have friends who who stay there for a week to watch it all.
My
It's
brother,
amazing.
this past summer, he went to Scandinavia, and unfortunately, the weather was so bad he couldn't see the Northern Lights. What a
Oh,
shame, you know? The weather was so bad.
yeah. It
Patty,
was,
I think we should start again in about 3 minutes at 3:30.
Okay, very good.
I'll get ready to
Yeah, now at 3:30.
restart the recording.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, for the second half of the Brownstone Poets. We are gonna go back to our fabulous open here. Please keep it to 3 minutes. We have Caroline DiGiovanni, Bruce E. Whitaker in this round. This is round 2. William Considine, Charlie Corbin, Jack Cooper, Amira Mitra, Peter Kozlowski, and Mireya Perez. And after that, we're going to go to the second round of the Spotlight Readers. That'll be Prince, Mega, me, Ron, and Susan Justiano, Rescue Poetics. And then after that, we're going to go back to round 3 of the open, and that'll be Ernest K. Woodley, Mona Zamperesco, Lynette Rapsat, Kim Brandon, Mike Jakovic, Michael Lombarda, sorry about that. Allison's not reading, and we're going to end it off with round 3 of the Spotlight Readers, and that's Roxanne Hoffman. She's going to blast us off into the new year.
Good.
Yay. So, Caroline, unmute and share.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you, Patricia and Roxanne and all the editors for the beautiful anthology this year. I really love it. It's a good read every evening, another poem. So thank you. But I'm not going to read the poem that's in there because it's about the spring, and we're not in the middle of spring right now. I'm going to try something based on a recent poem, based on a favorite portrait of ours. This is a picture. You can see this face. It's by Pietro Annigoni, and this is the poem. Artist's Proof for Pietro Annigoni. I saw her as she walked towards the market in Rome, a woman strong with purpose, her eyes alert, her chin determined. I reached for my pencil and a scrap of paper, anything to catch that face at that moment. In her deep eyes, I see the many generations she has mothered, the challenges faced, even wartime, and in defense of justice, gaining wisdom. Always kind to family and friends, she does not suffer fools. Wait, signora, per favore, let me capture your history, my history too. She moves on, facing forward. I go back to my studio to convey on canvas all that a woman can be. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There she is again.
Okay, thank you. Bruce, unmute and share.
Hi, everyone, and congratulations to everyone on this wonderful anthology. I'm going to read the poem, which was not supposed to be contemporary or current anymore, but seems to be, called Domestic Dragons. The slow bleed of the unspoken spills across the tablecloth. Past arguments flicker in the light overhead with the echoing silence. I am taking agree to disagree off the table. This may be our last supper. After all, we have shared brother, schoolmate, colleague, this slap after slap of what you say, no longer to my face, but I hear it anyway, is the end of our road. Anyone else who talked your talk I'd cut with glee. We once debated sportingly, but now people are dying. You persecute my beloveds, even if I can't tell you their names. Will nothing I do undo you? What kind of hero do I need to be here? So that's my poem from the anthology. As many of you know, I do haikus every day, and I wanted to share one from this week. You may recognize, those of you in New York may remember the wind a couple days ago. So this one also requires some acting out. Clutching my ear pods, as north wind pries at my hat, aping Munch's scream. So that was my experience the other day. And I'd like to conclude with a poem from Good Housekeeping. In the spirit of the holidays, it's my most controversial poem, and you'll see why. It's called Chorus of Elixirs. Gin whistles, whiskey moans, wine sighs, tequila squeaks, vodka rings, champagne chirps, brandy lullabies, spirits who so generally vocalize, rim to lip to ear, yet I never hear from beer. Thank you, everyone. Have a great holiday. Congratulations again on this wonderful anthology and all the work we do together. Be well.
Thank you again. Okay, thank you, everybody. Congratulations to everyone who's in it. Okay, next up, we're gonna have Charles Colbean, and after him, we're gonna have Jack Cooper. Wait, I'm sorry, I messed up here. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry, my error. William Considine is next, and after William Considine, we're gonna have Charles Colbean, and after Charles, we're gonna have Jack Cooper. Okay, take it away, William. Bill. Bill, is he still here?
I think he left. I think he is.
Yes, he did leave. He left a
And
note,
he wrote a
actually.
note that he had another commitment.
Okay, next up is Charles Colbean. Take it away.
Thanks. Congratulations to all the people you're honoring, Patricia. I'm going to read two poems. The first one is getting published in this issues of Mariah, however you pronounce it, or maybe Moria for all I know. It's called Santa Amnesia. Last week, my father's birthday slid past unnoticed. It was also his death day and the anniversary of my first marriage, so you think I'd remember. I confessed I have tried my best to forget that godforsaken anniversary, but cannot, linked irreversibly as it is to my father's parentheticals, which seem important to remember, like the names of the capitals, saints, winter birds. They say this is how it starts, the wrestling with the days of the week, proper nouns. I'd like to know just who they are, so we might have a word or two, preferably without nouns. Time drifts, a boat without sails. Memory mills about like the unemployed waiting for a good day's labor. Blessed Mother, is this the beginning of l'oubli? Will I remember the faces of my children? I can see my birds are leaving their branches. Must I rely on dreams now to lead me to warmer climes? Even in dreams, I've forgotten what she looked like. So that's something. Her eternal 20ness, the eager curl of her smile, her eyes in which so little could hide, the whole sprawling mural of her, a sketch now, charcoal lines, smudges, what time has done. There's a mercy in there somewhere, if only I could find it. And one more that I wrote just this week. Maybe I should proofread it first. I have this life. I am standing in it, arms slipped through its sleeves backwards like a hospital gown. I don't dare go anywhere without it, even if I could. I can't explain, but sometimes when the neighbors are sleeping, we climb a ladder to the roof and stand together on hope's edge and look up, count the stars until we're completely out of numbers. Frankly, I'm not certain if this life that counts so much is the one I was meant to have. I see everything through its eyes, so it's hard to be objective. Things just seem slightly off, as if it had forgotten to tell me something important. And anyway, the sky shifts. We shift. Constellations wheel off in despair, and I forget where we began. Why it seemed at first so important to begin. Why the stars appeared so near, in the air so warm. I have counted off each night like a scorekeeper, watching the clock. And it's only now that I see I am running out of time.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we're going to have Jack Cooper. And after Jack Cooper, we're going to have Amira Mitra. And after Amira, we're going to have Peter Kozlowski. And after Peter, Maria Perez will end round 2 of the open. Okay, Jack, take it away from Paris.
All right. Bonjour, bonsoir, en fait. I have 2 poems. The first is from the anthology. It's called Envoi. Brittle motion of the leaves, garden tired, following so many overheated days, begins to fade. We walk this way, enter in by chance, not knowing where it leads. Unknown the park, unknown the day, unknown the time, apart from summer ending. When, if evening comes, and all such seem then to recall, without succeeding to a loss which does not last, though never dealt in shame before, but accepted for its lapse. And this is Verge. I fall from here to there, continually, as though stones both paved and prevented my way. Visible, but where I could not see them. Essential form takes such shape, not by accident, but intent unknown. What time would reveal were instant once at once to coincide with absence that speaks instead where others cannot hear. Their insensate intelligence will not lament, only tirade like traffic crossing a street, no light stops. And if I do have a moment, I thought I would read a haiku that, Patricia, you rejected for this issue, but David Duffy made me think of this. It's called Choir. Coral are the leaves, invisible where they were, voices lost in time.
That goes
So,
to Notre Dame.
yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, and congratulations to
because I wanted
my
to. It's a
fellows.
great poem, but I was trying to keep with the
Oh,
wizard.
no.
But it's perfect for today in Notre Dame.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Anyway,
Thank you
thank
so
you
much,
all.
Jack. Amira, unmute and share. And after Amira, we're going to have Peter and Maria read. Amira, read. Amira, you still here? Is she still here? Is she gone? I don't see her. I don't see her, right? Roxy, do you see Amira? Amira? Okay, we're going to move on to the next person.
She is here, Patty. She's just muted.
Amira, can you unmute and share? You're next on the list. Okay, we're going to move. I don't know, maybe she stepped away. I'm going to move on to Peter Kozlowski, and then I'll ask if she's here. Okay. Peter, unmute and share.
Yeah, it looked like her mouth was moving, Amira, in the picture I see. Well, anyway, okay. Here's a poem that was in the book. It's called Rocks and Reasons. Picked up rocks in Manitoba and dropped them off in Minnesota. The Wisconsin glaciation of the Laurentide ice sheet at the end of the last ice age did so. The western Dakota, the Sioux they call Lakota. The mini part means water, but the Oda is still on Spoda. Did the glacier know all those tens of thousands of years ago that these people would sound out the shape of the O, as if puckering up their lips to the shape of those stones? You know, in the stories of peoples, there's like a flock of people going in a general direction organized by ideas. What do we call it? A movement. It's like the movement of a glacier, picking up rocks, picking up people. They say everything happens for a reason. I know it, most things happen for more than one. And the bigger a deal something is, the more reasons it tends to have and it tends to acquire. Like that glacier, picking up rocks. Like an uprising, picking up reasons. Like an answer, picking up questions. Picking up on the questions of the disaffected ones that you always have with you. And the new tellers of an old lie dispute what it's really about, or how it even got started. They just know there's something about that that works. Somehow, it moves the gravel. Do those rumblings from the global glacial maxima still echo in the earth as a logic wave, a gravity wave, a troublesome force? The ground moving beneath our feet is really just a matter of course. Tectonic plates shift glacially. The frosting on top is not frozen in place either. Eat it before it gets cold now. Drink it before the ice melts. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to move on to Maria Perez, and after Maria is just wondering, is Amira still here? I know I still see her picture up. Okay, Maria, please unmute and share.
Yeah. Hola, everybody. Beautiful to be here, and the anthology is beautiful. Okay, because we are in this season called Advent, there was something that came before. Unannounced. She was sitting quietly in her room, a book in her hands, relaxing in her red gown, a white lily in the vase by her feet, in her parents' house of thick walls with its courtyard, with trees, shrubs, and flowers, north of the Temple Mount. Her aged parents, Anne and Joachim, taking their afternoon rest. She thought she heard a flutter and the lily sway. Looking up, slivers of blue gold spun round her. Her eyes followed the glittered air. There he was, tall, handsome, blue tinged wings fanning her, the lily, her gown. Gabriel, he said he was. She knew already. Her pious parents had taught her of the archangel of revelation, the one that had come to them in their elderly childlessness to announce her birth and her destiny for great things. She had been waiting for him. It was not strange for her. When he spoke the words, she already knew. Hail Mary, you are highly favored. The Lord is with you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Maria, thank you so much. Amira, are you still here? I guess not. Okay, we're going to break into the last round of the Spotlight Readers. We're going to have Prince McNally, Mega Sood, myself, Ron Bremer, and Susan Giustiano, Rescue Poetics. Okay, Prince, would you like to please mute and share?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you again for this nomination. I'm truly grateful, and congratulations to all the other nominees. I have 4 short ones. The first one is called "The Color of a Blue Song." At day's end, as the sun slowly slid beneath the purple-orange horizon, you were crying. I'm sorry, you were saddened. I saw you crying. Tears the color of a blue song. Your voice, a haunting melody of psalms. When the heavens released its rains upon you, your body began to tremble as if God were moving through you like a storm. And this next piece is actually the piece that was nominated, called Efsan, dedicated to a dear friend of mine. Let me just get to this. Okay, here we go. Efsan. I love the way you sail through your day like a weightless feather, gliding on the tail of a restless wind. You move with such precision, purpose, and proficiency. I especially admire the way you wear your Japanese tradition upon your skin like clothing. How your penchant for hard work, focus, and discipline has become second nature, so effortless, like breathing. I am astounded by your depth of character and your seemingly unlimited compassion. It's as if your sole mission in life was to faithfully serve others, a selflessness that barely allows you time for your own fulfillment, and yet it is your service to others that truly fulfills you. There was a time when my spirit was nearly broken, trapped in a state of depression with no sense of urgency or purpose. You were always there to support me, to push and encourage me to keep moving, to keep challenging my fundamental darkness, to never be defeated. You have shaken me from the core of my comfort to face my deepest fears. I can still hear your pleading voice ringing in my ears. You can do it, Prince. You can do it. Never give up, no matter what. My favorite saying of yours, what's your mind, Prince? What's your mind? Your hysterical way of saying, what the hell were you thinking? Even in the midst of turmoil, you never fail to place the welfare of others above your own. You, Fumi-san, are like a beautiful lotus flower, ever blossoming through the shadows of chaos. That was from my upcoming book, She. This one is also in She, A Quiet Revolution. And even as the darkness descended upon you, a hail of swirling buzzards and hungry jackals ripping at your skin, you were so damn stubborn. Declining death's hand, you held on to life instead. What a beautiful act of defiance. Your every breath a protest. Your will to survive a quiet revolution. And this last piece, Easy Again, also in she. I watched as you pushed through the temperament of your storm. I have watched you struggle. I have watched you fall and crumble to the ground. I cringed at the sound of your psyche splattering into 1,000 pieces. The rawness of your pain blaring like a trumpet, each note an echo of anxiety, its breath reeking of shame, fear, and uncertainty, taunting you with an ever persistent mantra, a looping voice that said, "You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not strong enough." But I don't believe it, and neither should you. I have watched you struggle. I have watched you fall and crumble to the ground. I cringed at the sound of your psyche splattering into 1,000 pieces, succumbing to the will of your fear. And I have watched you rise and gather those shattered pieces, putting yourself together again. You turned the corner, you turned a deaf ear to the call of your anxiety. It may not have been pretty, but I watched in complete awe as you faced your storms head on, tackling life's most challenging maze filled with obstacles that swallowed you whole in waves of blue ocean, forcing you to sink or swim. But despite your fear, you swam those waves. It wasn't easy watching you struggle through those heavy bouts of pain, fear, and uncertainty. You turned a deaf ear to your anxiety at every corner, at every turn, until you could no longer hear its whispers, until your pulse stopped racing, until you were able to breathe easy again. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Prince. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Mega Sood. Mega, take it away.
Thanks so much, Patricia. And on behalf of the editing team of the Brownstone Poets Anthology, it's an honor to read all of your works. And it's an amazing anthology because of you, all of you who are contributors. And congratulations again to all the Pushcart nominee. I'm going to read 3 small poems. The first one I'm reading is from the anthology. Yay! It's called Metronome, and it was previously published in Panoply Zine this year. Metronome. Departure and arrival don't exist in pairs. A bitter truth we know exists. Nothing prepares me for your absence, except perhaps the battered window frames rattling under the heaviness of storms. A moment seeped in solitude and yet striving to exist. Deep thrumming of stillness that lives in the lone eye of the heron, as it sits still at the edge of loneliness, waiting to take flight away from the liquid eye of the swamp. A thin line lost to the horizon, a dust road splitting in two, leaves me in contemplation. A cormorant diving to its death, bound by its incessant hunger. A path turning into a debilitating question mark, bending around my house. The chair on my porch reeks of past, while I slowly counts my breaths, lost to the metronome of time. Thank you. The next one is called Sometimes, and it's just musings from a poet heart of mine. Sometimes I arrive at a poem following the blood trails of another. There is so much hunger seeped into our words, only if you see it. Sometimes enjambment doesn't add to the beauty. Sometimes there's only death in the end. I call your name in the thicket of the night, hoping to call you mine. We take the beauty out of everything we try to name. Naming is ownership. And who has ever felt alive under the shackles? Sometimes you end up somewhere looking for something else. Serenity disguised as ignorance. I call this my calling, the inherent hunger to carry my hyphenated identity across the demarcated lines. Sometimes I think the essence of this soil drenched by the monsoon rain will bring back the smell of home I feverishly long for. Sometimes I can almost feel your presence lingering at the nape of my neck. Sometimes the rainbow after the rain is just a trick of the light. Sometimes the presence of emotion makes up for the poetry of absence. Thank you. And the next one is called Brotherhood, and it has an epigraph by Martin Luther King Jr. We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Brotherhood. We are all broken, crumbled, rounded again, made from the same clay, caked and baked in the same unforgiving oven. We all have cracks in us from where the light gets in. Frayed at the border, pulling apart at seams, peeling off and breaking down into pieces in all our miseries. We are all the same, living under the same ashen, cloudless sky and blue moon in its reverie. Breathing the same air, swooning over the same melody of the souls, crooning our necks to the same broken chords, in unison we roll. We are all the same, laughing and cracking up with welled-up eyes and bruises we endure. Getting stabbed by the same knife, bloodied by the same bullet. Caste, creed, or religion doesn't seem to discriminate or beg to differ. We are all the same heartbeat, sliced and splintered into a million pieces. And the same God we worship, holding books with different verses. We are all the same from within, laughing at our scars with abject profundity. We are brothers and sisters. Together we shall live. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you again. Hold on. Let me just let me do something here with the, okay, fine. And I am next. Okay. Let me just do the picture first. Sorry. Can't do this right. Okay. Okay, folks, I'm going to start reading here. I'm going to read the first poem. Is from the anthology here. And it's been inspired by Nina Simone. And thank you, Roxanne and Jack, for publishing, for nominating it for the Top Prize in 2024 for the Rainbow Project. Thank you again, Poetry Product. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Roxy. Wild is the wind. Do you hear the wind? See that scarlet leaf dance on concrete? I am that wind. I am that leaf. I am that dance. In the distance, Miss Simone sings about spring and kisses. In a dervish trance, you cling to that leaf. Embrace the wind. The wind is wild and logic and fierce surrender to oneness. The wind is love, and love is the light that has no end. Now I'm going to get more political. Suicide. She took her own life because she had no value. Her mother would criticize her for bad grades and sloppy penmanship, even for not liking dolls and dresses. Her father needed extra comfort and told her to keep it quiet, or else. Her hair, body, and clothes became a schoolyard joke, and the teacher hid behind blinders and earplugs. Her college degree, an expensive paper paid by a bank loan, a high price for not fitting in with company culture. She never did get that promotion. Her date slipped something into her drink. She woke up in an alley with clothes ripped, her vagina bleeding. The blame would be hers, not his. Her first miscarriage led to another and another. Or did the rumors of infertility make her feel less than a woman? Her husband grew tired of her, divorced her, took the boys and house as well. The job market more dismal after staying home to raise the kids. Her cancer ate her breasts and uterus. Still hungry, it spread to her intestines. Her attempts to rebuild her life backfired. Even her talents went astray. Her only accomplishment was poverty. Her face, invisible since puberty, became a road back to nowhere. And love couldn't find her, or did it forget her name? Her golden years a list of losses to outnumber her age, but not the pills she had to take. The list could go on. The reason was hers, not ours. Her silent screams were real, and we never paid attention because suicide is a dirty word in an even dirtier world. Who are we to judge and toss the first stone when she is now free and no longer in pain? Thank you. And unfortunately, I have to read this poem again because it just fits with the times, even though it was written 4 years ago. The Trapper and the Furrier, inspired by Regina Spektor. 2020, a strange, strange year, like a time bomb waiting for breaking news to strike. Beasts in filthy cages, pellets and food, pets from puppy mills. Children sleep in soiled cages, family separation, asylum still out of reach. Dystopian predictions, dystopian facts. Big business declares war on its workers. Unions, wages, healthcare live at triage. Newspeak from the White House twist failure into praise, fiction into history. Our self-proclaimed leader plays mobster roulette. The press, elections, and laws face execution. He gives carte blanche to an alien dressed as the flu. And the sick keep getting sicker with too many fevers, chills, coughs, and losses of smell and taste. Death toll rising, ghost towns replace cities, bodies overflow morgues, the homeless live underground. Tests and cures not fast enough, business as usual for corporate generals. 2020, a strange, strange year. People shut indoors waiting, not knowing what to believe. Their time bombs, not knowing when to explode.
Wow.
Here's a recent one, inspired by J.G. Ballard's The Garden of Time. You can't wake up and smell the roses when they've turned to glass. Petals too showy, too insular, too inanimate to feel and understand the world outside your garden walls. You, like those fake petals, strut your sculptured bod and gaudy plumage of deceased birds, wear diamonds faceted in blood and the silent screams of those who work to survive, not to live. Clothes studded in crystal scream, "Look at me," while another family moves to tent city. You admire an expensive bag crafted from ice, while the children of Gaza gather rainwater to drink. Your extravagance wears designer rose glasses and earbuds, not seeing or hearing the approaching mob. The working poor who fight to keep a ceiling over their heads, stretch shrinking dollars at supermarkets and elsewhere, and American healthcare won't care if they get sick. Raising the living wage still won't cut it when political parties make Pinocchio promises before changing hands after Election Day. You smile and pluck another rose, but life is not a tick-tock moment because not all influences are about self-absorbance. You can't stymie time when time must move forward. Your garden is dying faster than ever. You don't see that Gaia is crying while being engulfed in flames. We're waking up and taking to the streets, not accepting your Hunger Games attitude, the brutality to quash our voices, the building of a new Gilead, the genocide of certain people by governmental decree. Soon, you'll become calcified statues destined to overlook your destroyed garden, the crumbled walls of your fortress while holding a broken a broken glass of your once beautiful rose. Sorry, I goofed on that. Now we're going to end on a lighter note, also political. Christmas Cat Coup 2024. Santa hat on your cat, revenge to come. Santa hat on your cat, revenge to come. Piss off the cat, the Grinch will steal your Christmas. Piss off the cat, the Grinch will steal your Christmas. High on catnip, opportunity strikes, last rites for the tree. High on catnip, opportunity strikes, last rites for the tree. Inside the tree, yellow eyes aglow, then the crash. Wreck the hall, inside the trees, yellow eyes aglow, then the crash. Wreck the halls, cat takes the fifth, dog takes the blame. Wreck the halls, cat takes the fifth, dog takes the blame. MAGA ornaments, cat gets ready to attack. Trump is first to go. MAGA ornaments, cat gets ready to attack. Trump is first to go. And last, Kamala Kitty surveys her revenge. Meowie Catmas. Kamala Kitty surveys her revenge. Meowie Catmas. Thank you. And now we're going to move on to Ron Bremer. Ron, take it away. Thank you.
Patricia, I'm sorry to interfere. I had a technical issue. That's why I couldn't read when my
Have you in the third round. Okay, I sent you a message.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't receive the message. Okay.
It's on. It's in the chat, please. Okay.
I didn't see.
Yeah,
I'll
please
check.
mute. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Please, if you're not reading, mute. Please. I'm finding it hard to use the mute button here. Thank you. Next up, we have Ron Bremer. Please unmute and share.
Okay. First, this is a poem from the anthology. It's called Amy 2, Reconfigured Amy. Tantalizing float, tongue prancing about the nightmarish sycophancy, a boon of decay, an ambush in the quest for contrition. Amy blue, bluer than blue, you're one gone gal, gone way too soon. Back to black, yeah, back to black forever. Oh, hell, you were the best, you were the real deal. Oh, my God, why'd you take her so soon? Too big for this world, too big a heart, too big a soul, too big a voice. No tattoo was big enough. Girl, you beat the needle. Girl, you beat the blow. But you couldn't break that bottle that was never full enough, in which you couldn't find a cure for alone. Be happy now, girl. Back to black, eternal rehab. And we're with you as much as can be. And two of the longest running, continually publishing journals in the USA are Sensations Magazine and Patterson Literary Review, and I've been lucky to have a few poems in each one of them. This is my 10th poem that made Patterson Literary Review. It's going to be in the 2025 edition. It's called Like Mosquitoes on a Damp Summer Night. Like mosquitoes on a damp summer night, dreams accost me constantly and belligerently, poking and prodding into parts of me I do not want touched, maybe was not aware even existed. Walking the beach or a path in the woods, they attack without warning, with no concern for my safety or well-being. These unquiet dreams pop up behind a friend's head in a coffee bar, laughing as they spit their nonsensical themes down my throat. At my desk, in my workplace, they blank out the computer screen, then type insidious insults or pornographic jargon. There is no escape from their grasp, which seems to be pulling me to a Weldon Keys-like fate. But I'll try to resist as best I can, a resistance movement of my very own to outthink and outlast these unquiet dreams. For anyone who doesn't know, Weldon Keys was an American poet and short story writer who disappeared one day. His car was found on the Golden Gate Bridge, but his body was never recovered. And this is my poem from Sensations magazine. Sensations started about 1987, I think, and it's been published continuously ever since by it's a one-man operation by David Messinio, and he chose my Art Deco poem to open his Art Deco issue. Art is the last refuge of scoundrels. Art is the lost refuge of fools. Art is the antiseptic for festering wounds. Art is the weakest excuse of losers and the triumphant gloat of winners. Art Deco is consecutive floors. Art Deco is a strain toward the sky where no one's eye forgets to be. Art Deco is a separate ride through the mechanized orchard. Art Deco is a stillness that instills process. Art Deco is, irrespective of hot sparks of listening. Art Deco is being on top of the cold cough of its being. Art Deco is a slide through under the roof of opposites. And one of the oddest journals that I've come across is Exacting Clam. I happen to know the editor, and we didn't really get along, so I used a pseudonym when I submitted to this journal. And if I could find it, yeah. One of the 6 poems I submitted to the journal is a tribute to Jorge Luis Borges, the great Argentinian short story writer. All of the phrases in this poem are Borges phrases, but they're rearranged in ways he wouldn't recognize. You are harsh. I stagger. You culminate in the boundless. I am your pure assassin. You dominate. I unite. You delegate. I endure. You occupy with oppression. I capture your imaginary mischance. You are the epitome of the ineffable, but your miserable destination is me. You hide behind mud walls to drown out the voice of the informer. I cannot identify you. only stimulate and embrace. In your adjoining deception, I am your hired contractor. Are we both clandestine enough, inasmuch your crystalline soothes my rectangular negligence, inasmuch? And I don't know if I have time for another. Probably not. So I'll leave it there. And Patricia, thanks for everything with this anthology and for running the fabulous Brownstone Poets um, readings, and Roxanne and the whole crew. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it. Okay, next up, we're going to have Susan Giustiano slash Rescue Poetics, our guest poet for next year. Take it away, Rescue.
Hola, beautiful ones.
Hola.
Is that better?
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here among this amazing group of talented people. And I want to share this first poem. It's inspired by Ada Limon's Instructions on Not Giving Up. It's called Emergence, a Dragonfly's Path. Like the myth that dragonflies live for a day, months and years go by, complete cycles unseen, leaving one life behind for another, discovering what fits with newly bejeweled wings, layered deep, flying backwards, away from what no longer serves. Molting is a natural process, making way for new growth, time and again reinvention adds to the myth that I am as I once was, catching moments along the way, slowing to understand that what sticks isn't always to remain. Fluttering about, not always with clear vision. When things pass, they are past and remain there, moving in 6 directions, lens to doubt, falling away. So fleeting, the time of maturity and wisdom. Most of my life spent learning, rediscovering, reimagining that the now is more precious than what was. I've learned to be comfortable in all surroundings, on water, on earth, within me, not ready to land yet, still discovering what that means. Prosperity, harmony, happiness, all the while eating the wind while weighing the worth of my soul. Poem. This next one is nothing worthwhile is neat or tidy. There is something sacred in silence, our harmonic understanding of the world, power to define our civilized selves, concessions between us and them, the heart, the first them, currents feeding the rest, flowing in, flowing out, thump, thump, thump. Rushing through silence, confident, sure within its mission and the need to reach them, the brain. Structured them, externalizing power to systems that don't always give back, false witness to how we think the world is, rationalizing for them, the soul. The biggest them, succession of self-unpredictable in rehabilitation and rebellion of them, always looking inward to change the outward. Sacred silence is busy. Poem. This piece was included in the 2024 Brownstone Poets Anthology. Thank you for accepting this. It's called The Paradox of Holding Two Truths in My Brain. My brain tricks me into believing that everything is on fire. Contrary to the swell of optimistic fireworks, they work to make primary space pounding through. Cognitive dissonance, while uncomfortable, lends comfort to the continuous battleground of implicit bias and fallibility. It's all in my head. Putting on a brave face, smile plastered to cracking. Wisdom is the work to resolve one truth or accept, or deny, or vacate. Path back is supposed to be linear. But then again, it's all in my head. Self-counsel is cyclical. Some same arguments, outcomes, and resolutions. It's all fire in my head, destructive and purifying. Poem. And this one is was included in the NAMI 2024 National Poetry Month contest. I think it made the top 10. No longer distant. We go about our daily business pleased with ourselves, barely touched by things outside or within, blocking out what least serves our fragile state of existence, a seesaw of gathering, hoarding, padding, keeping, the ironic ritual of discarding those things we work so hard to claim. Somewhere in the distance, we hear the wailing, discounted as an attempt to distract the already distracted, hoping it will go away if we ignore it. I stopped wearing headphones long ago to better hear the music. I left the distractions at the door, on the floor, in the boxes to stop tripping over them. I walk my dog, nod to neighbors, say hola to as many as I see. We don't speak of that ringing in our ears. The early warning signals, the emergency broadcast system. I tune in to the cacophony of suffering, joy, pain, sorrow, injustice, life, that low, deep moan everywhere. I feel it in my skin, vibrating under the fine hairs and goosebumps. I make dinner as usual, taking joy in the small repetitive tasks, a mantra of serenity, handling each gift of nature, touched by man, consumed for living. I take comfort in the rituals of being. They wash over me, unhindered, as I step out of my own way. I walk my dog in the dark. As the earth shares a common language, I put to paper vestiges of ancestors' whispers, speaking in tongues of poetry, anchored by sensory details. The world expands and contracts, no longer distant. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rescue. Amazing. Wow, I am so happy. Oh my goodness. I want to congratulate Amy Barone, the Pushcart nominees, Amy Barone, Carrie Magnus Radner, Dorothy Cantwell, Felicia Sherrill, Josephine LeRae, Prince A. McNally. And I want to also congratulate Ron Bremer, our guest poet for 2025. 2004, I'm sorry, 2024, sorry about that typo here. And Susan Justiana Resco Poetics, who's going to be our guest poet for 2025. And I want to congratulate my staff, Carrie Magnus Ragnar, David Deffey, Poet in Residence for 2024 and 25, Mega Sood, staff member, Roxanne Hoffman, and Sue Polo, the staff members. Okay, now we move on to the final round of the open mic, and we're going to end with Roxy. Okay, Amira, since you're back, please unmute and share. 3 minutes, everybody. And if you're not reading, please mute. Thank you. Take it away, Amira. And after the Amira, we're going to have Ernest K. Woodley, Mona Zanzafarescu, Lynette Ropsat, Michael Lombambarda, and we're going to end with Roxy. Take it away, Amira. Amira, you here? Please unmute.
Her image is frozen, Patricia.
I think we lost her.
Okay. Well, I guess Roxy, she's still there. I'm trying to find her. Okay, we're going to move on to Ernest K. Woodley. Ernest, you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, unmute and share.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Good afternoon, people. I'm going to share a few. This first one I'm going to share is entitled December Cold Haiku 2024, number 1. Here we go. Bitter, bitter cold, frozen head to toe. So cold, ice inside of me. Repeat. Bitter, bitter cold, frozen head to toe. So cold, ice inside of me. Okay.
Do you have another? Another poem?
Yes. Yes, I have another one. This is entitled The Full Moon Keeps on Going. November 2024. It's a full moon tonight. It keeps on shining, keeps on going. As I'm walking along the boulevard on my nightly walk, seeing the buses go by me and kids and people walking by me in hurried pace to beat the cold. Full moon is shining, bathes my body, reflects off the ocean while I'm walking along the boulevard on my way home from a movie I just seen. That full moon, but I can't stop thinking about the full moon that's shining above me. It keeps on going, follows me. Wonderful. Full moon lasts for a few more days. That's it.
Thank you. I see Lynn Shapiro's here. Lynn, would you like to read?
I'm overwhelmed by all the other poets. I'm feeling like it's enough. So
okay,
I'm happy to listen.
Okay.
Next time. Thank
Okay,
you.
no problem, because I see you here. Is Ermira still here? Anybody see Amira? Anybody? Let me know if you see Amira.
She's here.
Yeah. Amira, would you like to read? Like to unmute and share?
She must be having technical issues again.
Probably again. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll go back to her. Mona, would you like to read?
Yes,
Unmute, share, please. Thank you.
I have one poem for tonight. Thank you everyone for sharing. What a wonderful afternoon of poetry. Meditations on love. Outside the kitchen window, tall pines, tall as magnolia is white. 3 eagles fly in circles, and robins too greet the day on this budding branch or another, now pecking the earth. Inside, the ginger roots are to be peeled like so. On the back of a spoon, my fingers anticipate the smell of garlic and thyme. The onions are to be chopped like so. Around me, the young ones wear goggles as if onion tears were anything different than the rest. Around me, young ones in a hurry. Things ought to get done, don't I know? Around me, the young ones in a hurry. I am in the way. I close my eyes. I don't understand what is said to me. People move in and out like haze. Memories course through my body, illuminating the times I was met beyond the cutting board with the same blank gaze. Outside the kitchen window, tall pines, tall as magnolia is white. The eagles circle up the mountain. I hear the bells chime like the wind, the water running cold. I lean onto the open windowsill. A robin looks my way. A curious, brief glance. His small head bobs slightly in and out of his puffed chest, knowingly, marvelously ochre and free.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Amira, are we able to get you on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I'm both in computer. I'm having issues with the computer audio too, but I just opened the email. So, congratulations to everybody who participated in the anthology. What an incredible night with incredible poets. I'm really enjoying it. So tonight I'll read two poems that I wrote recently. I'm sorry. The first is titled Silenced. I am silenced from my pent-up feelings. Even if you scythe my throat, it will spill hush again. I have told you, you have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper, to drill the core of my bone marrow, to spill the beans of my hidden shadow. You see, you camouflage predator, you plastered soul of a mannequin. Finally, you have surrendered from your cunning cynicism. For my shadow is bigger than the pain. It's stronger than a hurricane. It's higher than the self. It's me within me, untangling and uncovering the unuttered, the unbounded, the undone, the unscathed, the unadorned, the unthrottled, the unpunished. Didn't you get the beans yet? Oh, you poor panther, wake up your heart, warm it with a cup of tea. Drink some Bloody Mary, boil its broth and sip it in one breath, and claim your state of ecstasy. Give it all in one breath, the last one. I'll be waiting for you on the other side. The door will be open. It's the only chance I'm offering you the gesture of adoration, only to be reborn a human. It's a little dark. I have been reading some dark poetry recently, and that's where it comes from. So the second one is titled Sentimental Antiquities. And this past summer, my sister and I traveled to our home country, Albania, and met there. She lives in Germany. And we went by the street where our grandmother lived, and we used to play there with friends. The eye stretches downward on the same hoary street, narrow, black-topped, cuffed between walls. The feet take a gentle, slow dance, each step touching a photographic image stuck in my memories, falling as autumn leaves. Longing sinks on the old vines, hanging on ripped red brick walls. The guilt of the banal politics of the times weighs heavily on the earliest silenced dreams of our youth. My sister and I meet there to search Grandma's apron, still carrying the sentimental antiquities. For how long? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm glad we were able to get you on.
Oh my God.
I was going crazy. Mary, where are you? Where are you?
And I haven't been participating in this.
And then you're like, I'm trying to do my spotlight, and then you're popping on and talking. So crazy.
But I'm glad I'm here tonight.
Yeah, good. Glad to see you
I enjoyed.
again. Welcome back.
Thank you, Patricia. Thanks
no
a lot
problem.
for everything.
Okay, let's see who's on the list. Lynette, please unmute and share. Glad to meet you the other day.
Hi, everyone.
Greetings from the Virgin Islands. I have one quick poem to share, and it's called Strong Woman. Just 1 second. Strong Woman. Arita bellowed through the crowd. A rose is still a rose. And I was entranced. She said that I was a young queen, and I needed to stop listening to words and music that didn't boost my self-esteem. She said Taras Riley said that she's royal, and you are the she he speaks of. Richness runs in your DNA. So remember what Music Soul Child says. You are so beautiful, and the love for you is plentiful. Hear it from Marcia Griffiths and Lady G that woman, mothers of the greatest nation, stronger than a roaring lion. So why are you allowing anyone to debase you when you wear the crown? You are the jewel in paradise. So you should never let anyone influence you in negative vibes. Whitney Houston and Shaka Khan sang it well in saying, I'm every woman. So young woman, every woman, you are not just an ordinary human. Stand up and be strong. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Come back again. Let me hear you. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Michael. Michael, unmute and share. Michael, are you still here? Kim, would you like to read? Kim Brandon. Kim? What's happening here?
Michael is here.
Okay, Michael, read, and then Kim will come, okay? Michael,
I'm
share.
having trouble unmuting.
Okay.
Okay, this is called lunch.
Okay, Michael, please share, and then Kim will be next.
I don't usually eat a heavy lunch, but today I had no bread in my cupboard, so I couldn't make a tuna fish or peanut butter sandwich. I decided to get a hamburger and ordered a turkey burger at the cafe on the corner of my block. When I opened the platter with my turkey burger and French fries, I heard a squabbling as if in the room. It was, however, coming from my own mind, and I was hearing it in my inner ear, which has the acoustics of my real ears. I dismissed the squabbling and bit into my sandwich, and I heard a scream as if I had witnessed a young mother witnessing the running over of her child by a city bus. I put down my sandwich. Then I turned it over, examining it for a mouth, and from side to side, but I couldn't find a single orifice, or anything resembling a mouth. I picked up my sandwich and distinctly heard, "Don't do it. You're desecrating a life by first killing it, then eating it." Once again, I looked around the restaurant and examined the turkey burger from 360 degrees of circumference. This time I put it back in the platter box to feed it to my dog, the neighbor's dog to be truthful, and ordered a Caesar salad in respect to my pacifist beliefs. And the counterman said, "You're particularly hungry today. First a burger, now a salad." I answered, "I don't want to feel guilty for eating meat. One day the animals of the world will unite and get revenge on us. I don't want to be a human burger with all the trimmings served to a pot-bellied turkey or a dog, for that matter." Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. And congratulations again about sensibility. Kim, unmute and share.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am so honored to be in the anthology. Thank you very much, Patricia. Thank you, Roxanne. And thank you to your team. Wow. And here is my poem. It's on page 38. And it is what butter smells like in other shared recipes. My sister is in there cooking up some toxicity. She rolls and chops it into everything that comes out of her pots. her collard greens, black-eyed peas, southern fried chicken, her peach cobblers, and her socket tumi cake. She fills your plate with heaping hot piles of goodness. My sister is in there cooking up some toxicity. Only if you take too much or take too little or don't smile hard enough, yum loud enough, her cursing starts. She calls me heifer and names of shame from childhood. Then she says, Mama was right about you. My sister is in there cooking up some toxicity. My cursing starts when she aims, hits my wound that has never healed. I wince and start swinging, both blindly and wildly in her general direction. She calls the police. I'm escorted out of my own mother's house, ordered not to come back until I can collect myself. My sister is in there cooking up some toxicity. Today it smells like cinnamon butter, honey, and biscuits, and maybe some slab bacon just got started frying. Licking my lips, I say to myself, I will not partake. I will not be pulled in again and again by heavenly aromas and promises of no, not this time. Hell, I know how to fry up some slab bacon with Karo syrup. My sister is in there cooking up some toxicity. Maybe this time I can just have one of her biscuits. They smell like love, like Mama used to make. And maybe this time her pots will fill my lonely places. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay. Are we ready for Roxanne to bring us to a halt? Bring us to an end? Finally end this year of brownstones?
I think we are. Did everybody get a chance to read who wanted to?
Some people don't want to read. I asked Lynn, she didn't want to read.
Okay,
I
okay.
think a lot of people left too. They had to leave. Mike had to leave.
Yeah, it's almost 5.
Yeah, they had things to do.
Okay, let me find my. I had my poem, and now, of course, where is it? Jesus Christ! All right. Okay, I'm going to start with the one from the anthology, and then read 2 more from the Hitchcock series. The Pursuit of Happiness, after Saboteur Hitchcock, 1942. Accused of arson, best friend dead, boy next door bolts cross country with determination and an envelope, evading the authorities to follow a guy named Faye. Fleeing gunshots, grabs his gal Friday, holds her hostage and in his arms, insistent of his innocence, joins a circus, then a circle of spies, keeps up with the Joneses by laying low and letting her go. Madcap masquerade and mad hunt ends in New York, New York, where all ordinary Janes and Joes go to make it. Police and protagonists ascend quilted skies, railing atop Lady Liberty's sunset gilded torch. Twilight unfolds, last threads unravel, unblinking verdigris eyes and hours widen as wingless 11th hour prayer plummets, yielding 0 hour release for all, a nation, its citizen spared. I'm going to read the other ones from my phone. The Shootist, for my mother, after the man who knew too much, Hitchcock, 1934. Alpine aspirations baffled by barking dogs, chiming timepieces. Deadly bullet takes out a dancing Frenchman. Enters the Englishman, yours, flawless to a fault, to find guarded game clue, hidden in plain view for instant jeopardy. Geez, Jilly, killing machines lean in. Oh, mama, merciless and mercenary, nabbing nervous offspring, yours as well. Parental quandary, rescue daughter or save some stranger and the world. Trading lives, umpteen variations weigh upon this woman's wailing heart like leaden stones. X day comes, you take aim, zero in and fire. Finally, take home the gold, your little girl whimpering, swaddled in your arms. A stranger shakes your husband's hand. The dog resumes his barking revelry, and the world carries on. And the last one is going to be keeping quiet on the Western Front after Topaz, Hitchcock, 1969. Aerial ballistics, Cold War chat rooms. Defector engineers his family's freedom, guards his hotline intel with intelligence. A jaded KGB knows KGB at every keyhole, listening in. Maybe neutral operatives playing poker in Paris. Maybe a quisling raising the stakes. Trust the trajectory targets us, those that play in the US of A. The USSR hates the US of A. Validation is welcomed and always warranted. X Factor is you, so zip up those lips. Thank you, everybody. I have to say, it was an amazing reading. It's just like,
it was. Thank you, everybody.
It was amazing. Everybody, you know, you come, and it's the one thing I really look forward to every month. And of course, every year to get the wonderful anthology. Oh my God. It's the poems are just, you guys get better every year. It's kind of amazing.
What a great day. What a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Beth and to Michael.
I have to take a picture of me. I didn't take a picture of the anthology. Jesus.
I snapped a couple.
Thank you.
You snapped a with me, Ka?
Yeah.
I can't do it. So dry. My throat's on the go.
All right, well, it's almost 5, guys, so toodaloo.
I have to make dinner. I'm hungry.
Have a wonderful holiday season.
Yeah, congratulations, everybody. Yeah, beautiful.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Nominees.
Thank you so much, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy
Holidays.
Kwanzaa. Happy
This was
New Year.
lovely.
Happy holidays,
Happy
everyone.
Hanukkah. Happy
Take care.
Kwanzaa. Happy Christmas.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy solstice. Happy New Year. Remember, we got a big year ahead.
And stay strong for January 21st, folks.
Absolutely, yeah.
Dear God, he's already starting in.
Gird up your loins.
Yeah, he's
say-
already in Paris.
Yeah.
Many
Right.
blessings.
Whatever. Let's be well.
All right.
No.
See you guys all. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy
for
holidays.
here.
Happy holidays to everyone.
Feliz
Meow.
Navidad.
Meow for now.
Bye.